Hello there, beautiful pixels. My name is Alaydriem, and welcome back to Truly Bedrock Season 6, where today we are back here over at the megalith because we have a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be done. I don't know if you saw one of our last streams, but will you look at this whole place? It's just a mess. The whole place is not yet filling the aesthetic that I quite want to pull, and that aesthetic is cozy, comfy, lovely, dark, deep, spooky forest. Can you have all those things inside of the same sentence? I think you can. We're gonna try to make it work. But last episode, we built this tree, and we now need to work on building the approach that is going to connect to it. And that is gonna be more easier said than done because, well, this is just a big hole. This is just a big hole in the ground, right? There's really nothing else here. So what I plan to do today, at least with this area, is we need to build up all of the terrain, and that is gonna start all the way down here because you see, I want this to be an experience. I want you to experience and feel something every time you come up to the megalith. You see the megalith hovering over the trees, you see this big tree in the background, and I want it to be almost hidden, as if it's someplace that's been lost and forgotten that everyone knows is there, but kind of just looks away as if not to see it. And to make that feeling come to life, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna basically carve a nice path here through this hill set. We're gonna extend these hills out here, just bump them out a little bit, and then we're gonna cut a path that runs all the way up to here. Once we have this path in place, we'll then have probably a cozy little spot for us to come up over here, maybe like right here, so that we can stare at the megalith itself, kind of get it into picture, into frame, and then we're gonna wind down a path that flies down all the way into here, and then from there, all the way back up. But that means that we have a ton of building to do all around here, and a ton of terraforming to do. And on top of that, I also owe Alien a shop. So let's get started with the terraforming. You know, a lot of the times when I make a Minecraft build, I never really get to experience it and enjoy it. And this right here, I was just walking over here along this path here, just kind of just seeing the area, what it's like, flying back over. And this is the view I get. This is the coolest view on the server, in my opinion. And I think it is also the coolest view that I've ever constructed. I mean, most of the times when I'm building a Minecraft build, I build it and then I never really get to see it again. And this season I've been really trying to embrace I built something and then I get to experience it for the entire rest of the season while I'm playing. And man, that is just such an awesome view. That is just such an awesome view. I know I'm like tooting my own horn here, and I don't usually do this because I don't normally like most of the builds I make, but I really like this. I really like just how that's obscured by the clouds. Gosh, that makes me so happy. So we did finish the path over here though, and let me kind of walk you through what we have going on. So as I mentioned, we jutted this out right here, and then we have a lovely little small path, which I know we are gonna do the pathing and terraining. We will do that in a subsequent episode, going all the way up to this little spot up here. And once we get up here, you can kind of see where I'm going for. This is going to be your first glimpse of both the tower, the tree, and the megalith all together. We are gonna have trees, just a whole bunch of different types of custom spruce trees, and maybe a couple other types of trees that are gonna be lining this entire area. And it's going to try to make you feel enclosed by the forest. And this is going to be the first break in the forest that you get to experience. Once you have this break, it's going to be straight back down into kind of a dark forest. We're going to have trees that fly up over here on both sides flanking you. Rock formations over here. Oh, it's snowing. Everything's gone horrible. And then finally, the path back up here, which will bring you to the entrance of the megalith, which no one's quite found the secret entrance to yet, which I'm kind of surprised by. But anyway, this right here is going to be epic. Now, we're going to be doing a couple of additional passes through here because this is just the first stage of terraforming. The next stage is going to be doing a bone meal pass, which is going to get us some tall grasses and flowers and all sorts of other things. I'm probably going to get rid of the flowers, and I think I'm probably going to put in just some spruce trees by default to get some podzol growing in here, since that is going to be the quickest way to get all sorts of podzol and kind of get us that leaf litter look, at least until we get actual leaf litter coming up in the next update, which, by the way, I'm super duper excited for. Once we have that in place, though, we're going to start doing some terraining against these rocks. All as you can see over here, this whole area is going to get covered in snow, unfortunately. So the best way to combat that is to make this kind of a rocky formation. So we'll have stone, gravel, cobblestone, all sorts of different stones in here to make this look like more of a sheer cliff rather than just a pile of dirt. And then once that pass is done, we will again do another bone meal pass, and then finally we're going to come in here with about 5 to 6 custom trees that we build probably in the next episode or so, and that is going to provide the basis for everything that we're going to put in here. Again, I'm looking to create a very custom, very cozy experience that covers this entire area. I want you to feel like you are underneath some very tall trees. I want you to feel like the trees and the forest are closing in around you, and then all of a sudden you get a breath of fresh air, a break in the tree line that allows you to see this magnificent view. And it's going to start down here. We're going to line this up here, and then this entrance right here. I haven't decided whether we're going to make this explicitly like an arch entrance or something, but I want to put something here kind of to signify that this is a place where people don't really go to. The villagers that we're going to build our village down here, they are not going to ever go in here. They are going to view this as kind of a secret and sacred place, some place that they don't feel that they're allowed to go because of its mystery or potentially the danger that they are aware of. But I do want to mark this out somehow so that it's very, very clear. Past here is forbidden, at least to the villagers. And then as us players experiencing this, you'll be able to kind of break through that and start seeing and experiencing all of this yourselves. But we have done a lot over here today. I don't want to spend the entire episode cozied over here because I owe Alien a shop. I don't know if you remember a few episodes ago, I convinced him to burn down his shop. That silly little ridiculous tent that he had set up, that he was selling beacons and mosses, beacons I think, and then also the totems. Yeah. Frankly, that was a hideous shop. It was really hideous, and I convinced him to burn it down. And candidly, I have been reveling a little bit in the fact that I convinced someone to burn their shop down for me, but I do owe something prettier to go up. So why don't we head over there, take a look at what the situation looks like, and then start gathering the materials that we need in order to get the shop, and probably the thumbnail of this video, actually built. And back here in the shopping district, this is the plot that we're talking about. A couple episodes ago, like I said, I convinced Alien to burn his shop down, and all these totems, elytras, beacons that Moss sells, and then also these netherite upgrades, well, right now I'm the only person on the server who knows how much they cost because I burned the signs down as well. I know, shifty Alaydriem doing naughty things, but don't worry, I convinced Alien to do it, so technically it's not my fault. But this place right here, it's just sad. It is a sad, dilapidated piece of land. It's like when your town has one of those do-it-yourself car washes, and then the car wash kind of breaks down because no one washes their car anymore, so they bulldoze the place, and then all that's left is this weird, yucky green grass where nothing is really pretty anymore, and it's just an ugly field. They should really build something there and make it look prettier. And I am the real estate Mongol who is going to take care of that today. I am the person who is going to make this and transform it into a reality, because this is just sad. This is town square, the center of the town, the center of the shopping district, and we just have a field right here off the corner because no one's developed the land. Well, here I am. Alaydriem is here to do some crazy amount of development. So we're gonna need to basically take a lawnmower to all this, relocate all of these things. Alien doesn't know it, but he sold me this. But I also kind of snuck in that he sold me all of this land over here. So our build is gonna cover this entire corner because I can't do small builds. I think I tried. Like, that's the smallest build I can make. Candidly, I can't make anything any smaller. So our build right here is going to come all the way over to here, and it is going to encompass all of Alien stuff and all of Moss's stuff in these, and also all of the other items that we're going to want to sell. Because I need to sell some stuff. I don't know about you, but I have a bunch of things that I'm making, and I'm just not selling them. I need to sell them. So we need to get started on this right away because it's only been the middle of the season, and and the only shop I have is books and golds. I could be doing better. I'm gonna be doing better. We're gonna be doing better. But we gotta gather a couple of resources before we can start mowing this down, and I think I know the places to go for that. And the first place we need to go is actually here at the shopping district, and I'm gonna ask you to trust me on this because the things that I'm about to pick out are not going to make sense to you unless you trust me. I hope by now you trust me with your builds. Really, you've seen the builds that I've made. I hope that you trust me. But this is going to be an interesting build because we're going to be doing some interesting thing with colors, things I haven't done before, and I'm just going to ask you to trust the process because the process is going to make this all worthwhile. The first thing that we are going to need for this is actually here in Slack Shop, the place where we put the boats are still there, the hanging Elder Guardians. That one's still bouncing, I'm not why. They appear to have been killed, probably because, you know, everyone who has thorns causes them to knock down. But the thing that we need is prismarine, this stuff right here. This stuff right here is going to be one of the main building blocks, and not just the main building blocks of the base itself. No. This is going on the roof. So bear with me and trust the process because we're going to need a couple stacks of these. What is this? Oh, 4 stacks per diamond? That right there is a nice deal. Very, very nice deal. There we go. We'll buy 2 stacks. Let Slack know that, or sorry, 8 stacks, and we'll let Slack know that we bought that. I don't really care for any of this, but this block right here, this prismarine, ever since I discovered that it changes color, I'm frankly been enamored by it. This does not stay the same color. It will transform from kind of this darkish green to kind of a lighter green and anything in between. And it's really hard to see and very, very subtle unless you have it up against a contrasting block. But you see right here, it has definitely shifted more blue than what it was before. And you can do all sorts of cool things with this. Mainly, if you enclose it in a shadow, you could basically force it to be one color shade, or you can use it as a bridge block, a block that connects between other blocks, and it helps bridge the color between them because as it transitions, you'll basically see the color blend a little bit better. So that is the first thing that we need to get. The second thing that we want to get is going to be over near Moss's base, I think, because he is near a mesa. So let's hop in here through the nether portal, head down my favorite hallway here on the server. Like, genuinely, I wanted to do this and Moss beat me to it, and I just love it. I love the creativity in this tunnel. I'm sorry, I just can't get over how much I love this. Someone left their end thingies? Their ender? Okay, that's a choice. The other thing that we need to do, I think, is over here. We're gonna need to head out here and we're gonna be grabbing some different shades of terracotta. Let's see, we probably need to make a day real quick. All right, back to having day. So the things that we are gonna need over here are just the base terracotta blocks because the terracotta is where all the fun is gonna be. There's a bunch of colors that you can get with terracotta, and that is also going to be comprising the majority of our roof. Now I want to find a little spot kind of far enough away from everyone's base so that, you know, I'm not strip mining a massive area. I think maybe over here will do. But we need to grab a whole bunch of this terracotta right here. Let me see if I can find my pickaxe real quick. There we go. I keep forgetting where I put all my toolboxes. I've been building so many places that my toolbox is just at the last place I built, and I can never remember where it is because I make it green, and apparently I'm colorblind and lose my green toolbox all the time. I need to make it a color that I don't forget. But anyway, we need a whole bunch of this terracotta because this terracotta is going to be the base of our roof. And I'm thinking we're gonna do a couple of crazy colors, and I'm gonna have to ask you to just bear with me. Let's go ahead and mine some up real quick, and I'll show you the colors that I wanna build. Well, actually, hold on, wait a second. What am I doing? I have villagers at my base that will do all of this. What am I doing mining all of this? Let's just go get it from the villagers. All right, I'm pretty sure I have a whole bunch of villagers over here. You know, I keep forgetting about you. We need to find a lovely place for you, don't you? Sorry about that. We'll get to you, I promise. One day I'll remember. All right, let's go down here. I'm pretty sure I have a whole bunch of stonecutter guys. Masons, I think they're called masons. Is that what these guys are called? Yes, you are a master mason. And yes, you do have terracotta. So here are the colors, the crazy colors that we're gonna be working with here. We have this pink terracotta. I wanna get some of this light gray terracotta. We'll just grab let's just grab a few stacks here. We'll grab as many as they'll give us. I know that isn't gonna be a lot. We may end up needing to go, but I think I only need like a stack or two. Some light blue terracotta. Which one of you guys has blue terracotta? Anyone have blue terracotta? Anyone have blue terracotta? Bueller? You know, Adequate came down here because I made all this for him, and believe it or not, I don't think that they were all upgraded. Let's see here. Green, no. That's light gray. We need more of that. And we're gonna need to probably upgrade a few of these people. We are gonna need some of this orange terracotta. Probably get some very yellowish terracotta as well. And, you know, I think I've made a mistake. It would probably have been easier just to mine all this up, huh? And because we're also out of emeralds. Hold on, let me go get more emeralds and mine up and get all the colors we want. Then I'll show you what exactly everything's gonna look like. All right, and with all of the terracotta now in tow, I think the last thing that we need is going to be over here at Adequate's base. And I did ask if I could borrow this from him. And by borrow, I mean use in perpetuity because he just has it running all the time. But we're gonna be using some waxed cut copper as well, but kind of some of the weathered stuff, which means we are gonna need some of the honey. More specifically, the beeswax that he is generating over here. And I think he has it in here. Wait, what does he have in here? Hold on. This is the nether wart. What does this do? This looks like this is just a general bone mealificator. It will transform stuff into, I guess, other stuff for flowers and dyes. Okay. Then over here we have another flower thing. Oh, this does more flowers. Okay, so that's two. That's a double tall. That's the regular one. Oh, and then over here is the bees. This is all my business right here. Let's see. Yes, probably just a couple stacks of this. That is going to be the big things that we need. Does he have other things in here? Like how tall does this go? Are these bees too? These are all bees. He has so many bees over here. And kelp? Wait, and he's farming. Okay, wow. Wow, and cactuses. Wow, okay. See, now I feel behind. Now I feel behind. I'm usually the one who does all the redstone and farms, but Adequate's over here. We've swapped roles, apparently. Oh, hey, Bebop. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Tell Adequate I was here. Tell him hi. Let's fly out of here, if we can remember our way back home, and I'll show you how I'm gonna have this palette look. All right, we are back here at the shopping district, and here's the part where I'm gonna ask you to hold my hand and trust me, because what we're about to do is gonna look incredible, but you have to trust the process. So this right here is going to be our build palette, and I know what you're probably thinking. My gosh, he's finally lost his mind. And maybe I have lost my mind. Maybe I have gone completely crazy. But this right here is what we're going to be using for our roof. So we're going to have this gradient, this quilted texture pattern going from this pink terracotta, blending onto this blue, and then down into this terracotta. And then kind of towards the top, we'll blend back into this yellow with this kind of a waxy block as well. Additionally, we're going to try to merge in some of the components that I added over here with this build, because I think the roof on this it's one of my favorite roofs over here. We have kind of this greenish moss and then also some of the skulk block. We're going to be pulling some of that in just to give us some additional coloring. And we're also, just because we're insane, going to be adding in some deep slate lapis ore. And that's going to go probably somewhere over in between here. And we're going to use all of this to blend together the most lovely roof that you have ever seen. And if for some reason you doubt me, just trust me. Just trust me. But if you do doubt me, here's the time lapse. Now, I know you may have had your doubts. But are those doubts erased now? Are they erased? You didn't think that it would work, did ya? But it does work. It does work. And I can't tell you why it works, other than the fact that when you mix a whole bunch of colors together, you somehow create a gradient, but it works. It works, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So let me show you everything here in this build. Obviously, the roof is the first part. The roof here is just the first part. And it's really hard actually over here to appreciate the entirety of the roof. So let's see if we can come over here to Moss's Moon and take a peek. See, that right there is the most blocks of any variant I've ever put into a roof. And what I've tried to do is just blend it from this original color and just mix in things and blend as much as possible. I know it's really, there's not a good spot over here at the shopping district to really appreciate it. Maybe on top of this? Yeah, this is a little bit better. This roof is just everything I want in a crazy, exotic, wild roof. I just want this to be crazy and exotic and energetic and exciting while also being just a little bit calm. And I think I have hit my goals with this. I know that some of you may think, well, you just slammed a whole bunch of blocks together like a madman. And listen, it's not that you're wrong. It's that I am a madman. And there is a method to the madness when I do this. And I hope now you trust me with this. But I added in this fireplace. I know that we had worked on this a little bit on some of the previous streams. And I felt that this area behind it just looked a little bit lacking. I could probably blend this more. This looks too much like there's too much of the green in that, as opposed to some of this acacia wood or even some of this, whatever this is, tough. I think it's a little bit too green on the sides, but the fireplace, I think, gives it a nice, lovely extra touch. I have also taken the liberty of re-terraforming all of this, and we got rid of all the grass. Look at, okay. What is better? This and all of its ugliness, or this? where we have nice green grass that makes everything look pretty. I'm not getting into the green is better thing. I just think that I just think it's time to move on. I just think it's time to move on. Oh, a couple of other things before I get shown off this more. I did decide to take some of Alien's leftover frog lights and kind of use this as a path so that anyone who is coming out of this will know that you can come over here and buy stuff at the new shop. Let's talk about the entrances to this thing, because we have our standard kind of spruce tree that I've been placing everywhere here on the server, a little bit different of a variant. Our standard entrance is going to be over here, which will allow you to kind of walk in the shop, peruse in around here. Over here, we are going to have kind of like a double stall, basically an open stall shop that we're going to place, you know, beacons and totems and elytra, kind of all of the high value items out at front to entice people in, and you'll be able to access it from both this side and then also this side over here. I haven't exactly worked out what the stalls are going to look like, but I hope to have that done kind of before the next episode. Throughout the rest of the shop though, man, we have so many things that we need to sell in our shop. We have wool, we have wood, we have bone meal, we have terracotta, we have iron, we have everything, and we're just not selling it. So we'll be selling stuff down there, and then up here as well. We'll kind of use this as secondary storage. Secondary storage where we can sell a whole bunch of other things. Now, admittedly, this also looks really cool inside of here, and I don't feel that people are gonna get to appreciate it this much, but I really love it inside of here. It's like a big cozy quilt, a cozy, comfortable quilt that makes you all feel warm and cozy and loved inside. And I hope that you feel that way with this build as well. Or you feel like I've completely lost my mind and he no longer knows what anything is. But we'll be using this area up here for all sorts of other shopping needs. People will be able to come in here, buy things, and then also, you know, as the shopkeeper, it's very important that you just have a place to kind of nap every now and then. So this is my secret little napping cook. Technically, it's underneath the fireplace, but don't ask too many questions and there won't be any problems. Now, the last thing over here, if we drop down back over here, is a new custom tree that we've added in. So obviously we have this one, but along the back here, we have this new tree right here, kind of this wavy spruce. I don't know, I tried making this just a normal spruce and then kicking it over and extending leaves, and I think it's kind of worked. The shop without it felt very, very, I don't know, you have to have trees near your build. Yes, do the builds look good without trees? Yeah, but if we're honest with ourselves, that's not how real buildings work. Like, you would put trees here to help keep the roof cool during the summer, to help keep the wind out during the winter or during the rainy season. Like, trees serve a purpose near your build. And I know that Adequate's beacon of friendship, whatever he's calling it, the beacon that he puts up to let him know that he'll do freelance work, is kind of in the way, and that's okay. That's okay. But these trees, they really need to be here because they really set the tone and the color. And without trees, I mean, without trees, is life really worth living? No, it's not. You have to have trees near your build. So that is my mandatory. I needed a tree here near here, which I thought was a good little addition. Lastly, over here, and I didn't show this, I don't know why I didn't come over here, we do have a nice little balcony. It is obscured by the totem villagers, the tiki villagers, the Easter Island heads, but hey, you know what? That's okay. It's part of the charm. It's part of the charm. All part of the charm. And so with that, I think we have finished everything that we intended to do in this episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you enjoy this build. I hope you enjoy all of the new builds that we have coming up, especially over by the megalith. And as always, beautiful pixels, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.